Hi, my name is Dr. Tisha Felder, and I'm an assistant professor in the College of Nursing here at the University of South Carolina. I'm also a core faculty member in the Cancer Prevention and Control program in the Arnold School of Public Health. And this spring, I was recently elected to be our college's first diversity, equity, and inclusion officer. And I was very surprised but very honored to receive this opportunity, and so we're in the process now of working together as a committee. I have a diversity committee of other committed faculty and staff here at the college, and we're also going to be involving students, but we're going to try to chart out a map of goals for us to achieve this first year, to really see how we can make our environment more inclusive. So to give you a little bit more background about me, I am actually a native South Carolinian, and when I graduated from high school, I moved away and went to school for about a number of years outside of the state. And so I've been a graduate student for a very long time, so I remember what those days are like. And I remember moving to different places, being out of my comfort zone, and having to find those places where I felt supported as a student. And so when I started thinking about what does diversity inclusion really mean to a graduate student, some of the things that came to mind is, first of all, like, what do these terms mean? So I was reading an article recently that I thought really spelled it out very clearly, in that diversity really focuses on people. So it's all those different things that make us different. And so that could be how you think, how you dress, what you believe, what you're passionate about, all of those different things. And there's a lot of emphasis now on diversity of thought as well as experience. So I think many times when we hear the term diversity, we think about race and gender and class. But there's so many other dimensions of diversity, as well as we have to think about how those categories actually intersect with one another. And I think that's what makes diversity so beautiful, because you can have all these different cross sections of these different experiences, and that produces a wealth of diverse thinking. And the other term, which is inclusion, which I think we're talking about it a lot more recently, is really focused on systems, processes, culture. So those are a lot of those things that may be difficult to touch and pinpoint, but they're very much real and felt by all of us. So I would like to say that diversity in and of itself, in terms of people, is necessary, but it's not sufficient to reaching inclusion. And so it's very much a challenge, but I'm excited to be a part of this challenge to make everyone feel that they are included and feel welcomed and accepted and respected within this academic environment, particularly here in the College of Nursing. So again, reflecting back to graduate school, you're really busy. Some of you may have other life obligations. You're balancing so many different things, and you're like, diversity and inclusion sounds great, but I just don't have time. Maybe you're not even interested. Maybe you don't even understand what's all the fuss about. Well, I would like to challenge you to think about doing some things that you could easily just integrate into your graduate school experience. So some of the things I thought about are that you could enroll in a course in another department. I think in terms of thinking about discipline, how we think really is different in other disciplines. And so for me, for example, I'm in a College of Nursing, but I'm actually trained in public health and social work. So I'd like to think that I bring a different perspective here, but also my nursing colleagues sharpen me and give me another perspective as well. Some other things you could do are engage in research. I'm also a researcher, so work on a project where you're going to be focused on vulnerable populations who have difficulty accessing our broader systems, whether those health systems or the educational system. You could actually volunteer in the community. There are tons of organizations, probably even within walking distance of our university, that are really focused on promoting social justice of various populations. So again, those are things that, it may not seem like it's a lot, but it is a step toward you just being more informed and more aware and more sensitive toward difference. Dr. Hannah Valentine at NIH has this saying where she says, great minds think differently. And I absolutely love that. And I think part of how you get to that place where you think differently is during your graduate education. So I challenge you to step out there, do something that's a little bit different, a little uncomfortable, and just see how much you're going to develop.